Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Katrina Jean, and I am here to discuss breakups on Black Women Exposed. Now, I'm going to try my best not to ramble. I'm going to try my best not to generalize because it's really hard to do that, but it's kind of not because every woman is not going to handle a breakup the same. So, we're just going to jump right into it and start by saying I handle things a certain kind of way. I can't say that I like to. I tend to give probably too many chances. And I guess mainly that's because I like to know that I made every effort in the relationship to make it work, which means communication. I like to talk things out. I don't play mind games. I don't do any of that. Let's keep it real. I ain't got time. I'm 35 years old. I ain't got time for that mess. So I like to talk about stuff. I like to make sure that we're on the same page. If I'm having an issue, if you decide to bring your representative on board, I don't appreciate that one bit. Now, for those of you that are not completely clear on what a representative is, it is basically the guy that's presented in front of you who pretends to be someone that he's not because he wants you to think that he's someone that you want him to be. I hate that. I'm like, I'm going to give you 100% of me. What you see is what you get. So I expect the same in return. Do I get it most of the time? No. Unfortunately, not. But I can say that I feel good in my breakups. But unfortunately, my exes can't really say the same because they feel like I just dropped them out of nowhere. But really, you just weren't listening. Like, I literally give chance after chance. My typical relationship before my current one lasts maybe between 4 and 6 months tops. I wouldn't even give it 6 months. Because when I smell bullshit, I smell bullshit. Am I allowed to say that? I mean, we're keeping it real. So, yeah, it's okay. I'll watch that, though. But for the most part, when I smell crap, I flush the toilet. I wipe my ass and I walk away. Basically, just to say it plainly. Because I'll give those chances. I'll wait a week or two to see if anything's changed. More than likely, most men tend to change for a second and then go back to doing what they were, or in some cases not doing. Because when you present yourself a certain way, men, keep that same energy throughout the course of your relationship. Don't change it up when you feel like you done snatched her up and you got her and she done fell for you and stuff. Don't do that. Be you in the beginning so you won't have to switch up. How's that sound? Sound good to you? You should try it. Most don't. Unfortunately, and that's why a lot of my past relationships did not work out. They expect you to be the same person, but they weren't the person that they were to begin with in the beginning of the relationship. So it's just like, I'm giving myself to you, but you're only giving me the modified version of yourself. So I don't like surprises. So, like I said, I'll give a chance, and it may last up to 5 or 6 months. But by the time I leave, mentally and emotionally, I'm already gone. It's just like that. And sadly, they feel like I just dropped them out of nowhere. And unfortunately, sometimes it causes men to act crazy. I've had a couple stalkers. Like one guy saw where I was, at the mall and popped up at the mall. Like, he literally, Facebook called me. And I thought at that point we were cool. We can talk now. It's fine. And I answered, hey, what's up? What's going on? Next thing I know, homie at the mall with me. I'm like, where'd you come from? And then another guy. Now, for those of you that are watching that are my exes, I'm not sorry that you got to hear this. You did it. On up to your crap. And don't do it again. But I continue to say, this particular guy got really controlling once we got to a really good place. I literally introduced him to my kids. That doesn't happen quickly. So it hasn't been a good thing. I thought he was the shit. You know what I'm saying? He was dope. Everything was cool. It was vibing. Everything was fine. And then I guess he felt like everything was cool and he can just say whatever. Like, homie really told me to get up at 10:30 at night after the crazy day that I had. Keep in mind, I'm already exhausted in the bed. To get Chinese food. And then he brought up everything that he does for me. I'm just like, skirt, hold on, Chief. What's wrong with you? 10:30? I don't want to get up for my mama at 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. And he just got really mad and tried to control. He basically got really controlling in a span of about 20 minutes. And then he left with an attitude. I was like, yo. Now, me personally, I don't do the mind games, man. I don't do the mind games. But it's kind of like, I can't expect you to know what's going on in my head. Hell, I don't know what's going on in my head half the time. With my Gemini having self. I don't know. So I don't expect anybody else to read my mind. So I say what I gotta say. So I feel like there was a problem with what happened. And again, he got upset. So a couple days later, I just cut it. Plain, I can't deal with a man trying to control me because I don't need controlling. You know what I'm saying? So it just got to a point where I realized he was not joking. And then he called me out in front of his boy at work. And I was like, oh. That's what we doing? Like, how old are you? And the bad thing about it is that he acted like it happened out of nowhere. That's how I knew he was crazy. Men, don't do this. Do not do that. Like, if a woman is trying to tell you that she doesn't want you for whatever reason, just let it go. And I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to say this. I know you're going to say, well, women do that too. But this is not black men exposed. This is black women exposed. You can go over there to that one and listen to that topic over there. But right now we're talking about how women deal with the breakups. Men, just let it go. Don't turn into a stalker. Because this guy turned into a stalker. He was at my door late at night, knocking, calling my phone like crazy, excessively calling and showing up at my house. And then at one point, like, it's my fault. He showed up with a bucket of chicken. I'm sorry. I'm greedy. I'm a foodie. And I fell for it. But the second time he came, I didn't even come to the door, didn't acknowledge a phone call or a text. I just let him sit out there. But the problem was it got scary. Because homie was like at the door for like an hour like this. Yeah. Just like that. Real close. Super close to my peephole. I looked outside. He was out there for so long, you guys, that I actually convinced myself that he was the staircase. Like, he was so still and creepy. Like, I know that women go nuts too, but men, y'all are men. Y'all are bigger and stronger than us. Now, I'm no wimp, but what I'm saying is that y'all, it's scary. I almost called the police. So, I say all this to say, handle your breakups accordingly. Handle them responsibly. I feel like if a woman is telling you that she doesn't want to be with you for whatever reason and is giving you chance after chance after chance to fix it, blame yourself. Take a look in that mirror and realize whose fault this really is. Because a woman like me, I'm going to tell you how it is. If I'm having an issue, I'm going to discuss it. If I'm having a problem with something that you are not doing, I'm going to discuss it. Mind games, I don't have time for. Hell, I ain't getting no younger. 35 years old. I talk about my crap. So, I say all that to say, again, handle your relationships properly. When it comes to your breakups, take it for what it is. Don't overreact. Don't turn into a stalker, knocking at doors all night. Just let it go because it was your fault. I'm not saying that it's always your fault, but in my situation, like I said, I'm not going to generalize. I'm going to only speak from my personal experiences. It was his fault. So thank you guys for listening here with me, having this conversation on Black Women Exposed. Follow me on social media, Katrina Jean, Katrina Jeen, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Everything's the same. Nothing's different. So I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, and